guys, welcome back to my channel. Miss Wakesho here, and today I've been joined with my hubby. My hubby is here today with us because we are talking about our labor and delivery story. We took our time because some people needed time to recover a bit. No, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. Yeah, so let's start with, I had a very good pregnancy. My pregnancy was super chilled, and I carried, yeah, it was very nice. Like there was no problem.
Your first trimester in terms of the, what you
Yeah,
call it, the
but
mood
that's
swings
normal.
and the whatnot. That was
Yeah, it was, I carried well. Like there was
Okay.
no
You
complications.
carried
That's what
well.
that's what I mean.
so.
Yeah, so I carried full term, 40 weeks, guys. My birth plan was we wanted to go natural with the option of epidural, but not really. So it was far away. The epidural was far away, so that was the plan. 40 weeks reached, the baby was not coming, so I went for my 40-week checkup. Everything was fine.
Your mom was here that time.
My mom was here at that time. And now we started discussing options because I'm already full term, and now like what next, basically. Mommy?
It's good.
So at that point he was telling us, okay, so it's either we
Two options. To either we wait and the likelihood of C-section increasing, or we induce now. Yeah. Because if it becomes too big, then
we won't be able to we won't be able to deliver naturally. So I don't know, my mom was here at the time, and she was here only for so long, and he told me either way, it's either we induce tomorrow or
like a few days
later.
Yeah.
A few days later, because he didn't want me to become too big, because now our birth plan was natural, guys, remember? So I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and do the induction on the next day, basically. So I was very nervous about that whole induction process. From that point now I was freaking out, because now he was checking. We also checked how far I was just 1 centimeter. Yeah, so there was no real movement. And guys, I used to walk, I ate pineapples, I did all the things. And I hate pineapples.
I went to Food Lovers Market. It was like I sent a photo of the pineapples.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's eviction time.
Yes, because we were trying everything. I was walking, I was like doing squats, I did all the things, but she didn't want to come early. So I booked myself in for an induction. So that was the 3rd evening, yeah?
It's a video.
Okay. Mommy, you're taking your picture. Yeah. Final moments. Minus the eyebrows. Minus my eyebrows. Nash. Any last? What before you go to sleep? Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm in good hands. I'm happy. Yeah, good hands. That's the most important.
Yeah.
3rd evening. So they induce at midnight, and then they wait. I didn't get the drip induction. I only got I got the one you insert. I'll get the name, I don't know if I ever. You insert inside, and then it ripens the cervix, so it sort of does it naturally. So I was happy about that. So when we checked in on the 3rd, which was not the next day, nerves and everything, I was feeling so, when we checked in, when everybody now left, because now I was left alone, because now the induction, the doctors and the midwife said it'll be a slow process, so I'll only deliver the next day, which is the 4th of July. Yeah, so they gave me a sleeping pill, guys. It was the best sleep of my pregnancy. The 3rd trimester was barely sleeping, so I had such a good sleep. And the good part is with my induction, they did it while I was asleep. So I thought they'd wake me up at midnight, then do the induction, but they did it while I was asleep. So I woke up at around 5:30, confused. I'm like, oh, is it time for the induction? They're like, nah, we did it already. So that made me so happy. So I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for the labor.
That's ironic, because I'm sure that was like the last time you had a proper sleep.
I know. I even asked that lady, will you give me another one? And she's like, no, I can't give you another one because now you need to start laboring. It was so funny. You came at around 7.
I came at 7 in the
and
morning.
found me.
Yeah, no, you're still in the room.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing. So the midwife told me around 8 o'clock I should be feeling something. 8 o'clock came.
That's 8 a.m., right?
Yeah, 8 a.m. So 8 o'clock came, there was nothing, remember?
Yeah.
And then she's like, yo, if it continues like this, we'll have to look for other she's playing with us. If it continues like this, we have to look for other options. So I remember praying for those contractions to start. And then around 10 she came back again. And she's like, are you feeling anything? I'm like, nah. Now she's writing and scribbling. I'm like, what is going on?
But you're still connected to like the machines.
Yeah, I was strapped in,
yourself.
and the baby, and everything was looking okay. But now, like, they kept asking me, anything? I'm like, nah. So they checked me, how far dilated I was. Barely. Nothing. Yeah, same.
When did they give us the ball?
Now when I started laboring. So I started laboring at around 11.
Okay.
Yeah, so at 11 I'm like, okay, I'm feeling something. So I was so excited, guys. I was so excited because now once they strap me in, you feel the heartbeat and everything, and then they're like, okay, now you can start like bouncing on the ball, doing all the labor things. So I was excited. I was walking around the hospital with my gown and all that. I went up and down because they told me now the more you walk, the more. So I was doing all the things. I was so excited. And then at around, they told me, okay, like, walked around, came back, I was on the ball. So now the contractions are going, but so they kept checking me, but I think I was not dilating the way
fast enough, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't dilating fast enough. So hello. So because of that, they were like opening my cervix. So when they check, normally when they check just how far, I guess they just put the finger and then they measure. But now for me, I think the gynae told them now to start prying it open. That's when now the birth plan started going array.
That when you kicked the nurse.
Yeah. Things got intense, literally. I'm usually like a chilled person. But like, yeah, it got intense. So they kept checking me after like an hour, 2 hours. So they kept checking me. So she came again, she's like, I'm checking you. So when she put her fingers to check how far dilated I was, so she did. So
you kicked her nurse, right? Let's be honest. Let's just plain.
Yes, I kicked her. I kicked her, guys. I kicked her, and it was reflex.
She was like 8, 9.
It was reflex. She was in shock. I was in shock because I didn't know that they were actually trying to like open up my cervix. You know, I didn't know that was the plan. So when she did that, I was in shock. So because due to the shock, I kicked a nurse. Yeah. And then I started crying, and then I started apologizing. I'm like, because now she's my midwife, I'm gonna stay with this lady until my baby comes. So I'm like, I'm so sorry. So now the emotions, then she sat me down and she's like, when I calmed down, she's like, you know, I'll have to keep doing this because I wasn't dilating fast enough. So she's like, every time I check, I will have to like now pry open your cervix. Just the thought of that, guys. For me, this is my personal thing. I know all strength of a woman and all that, but me personally, that's where it broke. That's where it broke. The labor was progressing like at a good rate, so I think I could take the pain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like extreme. We hadn't reached that extreme point. It was growing gradually, so I think that pain was okay for me. But the cervix thing, I personally, I could not.
When you check out.
And then I started telling Bunny, now we need to change the plan. And then he's like, but we had a plan, I told him I'm in pain. The plan went out of the window, guys.
This was the plan regarding epidural, you mean?
Yeah. So she did tell me now about, the nurse told me about now the epidural, how we can get the epidural. And I really didn't want to get it, guys. That was my last option. I didn't even write it down. I just booked my bed, like, just for normal delivery. But at that point, yeah, I told her, you know what, I can't keep doing this to you. I can't keep getting violent every time you want to check me, because we need to deliver this child, you know, properly. So I told her, you know, go ahead, do the epidural. But now, by the time I accepted finally, because she had to convince me about this epidural, the anesthetist, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
I think that sounds right.
Was in surgery, remember?
Yeah.
So I had to wait. So at that point where I was being told about this epidural, I was like about 5 centimeters dilated. Hiya. I was about 5 centimeters dilated. So I waited. So I kept laboring till about 7 centimeters, because she was in surgery. She was in and out. She was busy. So by the time she came, I was really, like, my contractions now were real.
The pain.
Yeah, the pain. And now during the whole, you know, giving me the epidural, when she, my spine, so they choose a point where they inject the epidural. So by the time they were doing the epidural, they did it the first time. So they injected me on my lower back. It did not work out because the needle could not pass. The epidural needle could not pass. And then I was injected again on my upper back slightly.
So they tried again. Yeah.
So they tried the second time, and then yeah, it worked out at least.
Yeah, it's. How are you feeling? Probably. You're just at the hospital. Yes, probably. Sorry, babes. No week today.
So after that, then my pain was gone, because I remember, like, they tried the first time, then I got a contraction, and then she was telling me, like, I can't move. So she told me to tell her when I get a contraction, so they stop. Yeah, so
it's quite a
it's a delicate process.
It is a delicate process to get a epidural. I mean, if you make a mistake, anything, I mean, that can be paralyzation.
Yeah, it's actually quite.
So it was quite an intense moment, to be honest.
Yeah, that was one of the intense points of this labor. Yeah. But we're glad we got through it. The second time was the charm. It worked. So they put the needle, and then the pain was gone. Now I could talk. The laboring was over, the pains were over, I could talk. But they kept monitoring us, me and baby, me and Zuri, seeing the charts and everything. But now everything was more calm. The gynae came, broke my waters. So they say now after the waters are broken, I think everything will go faster. Yeah. So that was around what? 3 o'clock now.
Yeah,
it reached afternoon, so more or less around 3 o'clock. So everything was going smoothly. The contractions were coming, and you know, because they measure contractions versus like how the baby's heart rate was going. And then all of a sudden, because now the midwives kept coming, checking. That's what they do.
Because they compare what during contraction, how the baby reacts to the contractions.
Yeah, so it reached a point, she was looking at it, and then she looked like, no, there was something. So there was a nurse, then the nurse called the midwife, and then the midwife checked again, and she's like, no, there's something going on with the baby. her heart rate is dropping. Yo, at that point I was very scared. They're like, now we have to go look for your gynae. So now they look for the gynae came, and now he also read. At that point now, as they were looking for the gynae, they left, both of them, the nurse and the midwife. Now Vanya was the one reading the charts. Guys, he was actually taught how to do it, right?
Yeah, so there's some numbers. I forget it now.
He was reading the charts because it's an intense moment. Everybody has to help at that point. So he was reading the charts, and he was told to monitor it so it doesn't drop to a certain level. If it does, you have to now run and call someone. Yo, at that point I was freaking out, guys. Everything was going smoothly until that point. That was really scary for me. You?
Yeah, no, it was quite intense.
Yeah,
we
didn't really know.
There was a number of things that could be wrong. What was that? The umbilical cord around her neck.
Yeah, they were giving us options and telling us, okay, yeah, this could be it. But they didn't know. That's why they were trying to look for a gynae.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think he had 3 other patients in the same hospital. It was me, that lady, and then someone else. He had another surgery. So, we were just freaking out. Thank God he came really fast. And then he also read that chart, and he's like, this doesn't look good. We need to go into surgery. Guys, after laboring the whole day almost, getting an epidural, now thinking that, okay, it's over, now we're gonna do this. Now I had to go for an emergency C-section.
There goes the whole birth plan.
I know, my whole birth plan changed. And so at that point we are all freaking out. But the moment he said we need to go in emergency, in 5 minutes I was in theater. They had prepped me like it was so quick. The ladies in theater were super friendly because they saw I was also panicking. The anesthetist, I know I'm not saying this right, someone will correct me in the comments, but yes, the lady, it was a lady, go girls. Yeah, I have to, it was a woman, so she really like helped me through. So because I had the epidural, I didn't have to do a spinal, so they did just
they just
increased the dosage. And then I went into surgery. So that was pretty quick. Actually, it was the quickest part of my labor. My delivery part was quite quick. Everybody was professional. Everybody was good vibes. I felt calm. So
the team there.
Yeah, the team was so nice. It was nice. The radio was on, guys. It was a whole vibe. Put on the radio. Yeah, it was. So that made me calm down because I was really, and at that point I was just praying that the baby comes out crying. That's all. Like the whole time the whole procedure was going on,
your prayers were answered.
The baby, I was like, can the baby just come out crying? That's all I want. And she came out screaming. She was screaming.
She came out hungry. I think she was tired. She was hungry.
So they said it was the fatigue basically because I was laboring the whole day. And we were not getting anywhere. I was not, so because of that they said that she got tired. Because it started with an induction and then we ended up in the theater. But I think does
having to do a C-section what's the word, diminish, this, like one of the things, I think when they said we're going to labor, one of the mom is like, you are still a woman. Do you feel that having to doing a C-section instead of pushing has made you less of a quote-unquote mother or woman?
No. I practically went through it all. I went through the labor. I went through an induction. I went through and I feel like it reaches a point you have a plan. You see, the way we had our birth plan, we said yes, no epidural, we're just gonna go natural, I'm just gonna try all these things and give birth. You have your plan, and then there's also God's plan. That's true. So I'm not gonna make myself feel bad because I wasn't able to, because I really wanted to give birth naturally. That was my plan. Like but because the C-section came as an emergency, I did not have a choice.
Yeah.
As in, I'm not going to put my child's life in jeopardy because I want to give birth and push and give birth naturally.
Right.
So we did listen to our doctor's advice, and the reason why we also took the chance to be induced earlier is because my mom was only here for so long, so I needed the help, you know, with the actual baby when the actual baby comes. So that's why I chose to get my baby induced, and we did discuss with the doctor, and he told me the baby is big enough. I just didn't like rock up at I don't know how many weeks. Like, she was full term, and we spoke about it, we had a discussion, and yeah, and I think it worked out for the best. She came out, she was healthy, she passed all her, you know, newborn things. First exams of
PhD, my friend.
She passed her first exam. She was okay, she was normal. She didn't have to go to NICU. That's the baby, the newborn ICU and stuff. So she was brought to me right after, and yeah, we thank God for this the blessing. Yeah, she's now grown. I can't believe, you know, every time I look at her, I cannot believe it's the same baby, you know. So yeah, she was born happy, she was born healthy on the 4th of July. At around what time?
I think she must just get a straight
$4:30.
American passport.
Yeah.
4th of July baby.
Yeah, she's a 4th of July baby, and we are blessed. And I think with all the mothers, what I can tell all the mothers going forward, our labor and delivery, there's only so much you can do with your own strength. So when you go in, be it if your plan is natural, be it if your plan is C-section, whatever be it if it's the epidural, when you go in, just say a little prayer, because you cannot do it in your own strength. You need God, you need that higher power, you need that extra strength. Yeah, and it does not make you any less of a mother if you give birth naturally or C-section, or because that's when the work begins. Yeah. I feel like I talked throughout this vlog. By the way, there was a question in one of the comments about like parenting. So how are you adjusting to this new parenting life?
Well, honestly, I think I gotta say you're pretty much doing most of the work when it comes to parenting, because I go to work during the day and Rachel's here with the baby. I guess adjusting is also trying to find some time for us. I mean, it's one of those things, you know, if you get home, okay, you eat, but straight afterwards it's baby duties.
Baby time.
Baby time. Yeah. So honestly, we're still struggling to find that balance. So we haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like our relationship has taken a bit of a backseat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which are things we need to remedy soon, because there needs to be that
balance.
Yeah. So we're still working on it in terms of finding the balance between ourselves and the baby, but hopefully as the baby gets older and less, I would say, what's needy, or us getting used to it, the more we get used to it, the better we'll be able to say, okay, prioritize, okay, now it's the baby and now it's us, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I think that balance, we're still getting there, because it's our first baby, and yeah, we're still getting there. But I think we'll get there. These are things that other parents, I'm sure, if you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, you do go through. And if you have tips on balancing, please comment down below. We need them.
We need some of those.
But we consider our baby a blessing. Yeah. Because, you know, sometimes they can come and you're not sure. You know, you're not sure how it's gonna be. You're not sure the labor. You're not sure the delivery. You're not sure after. There's so many aspects. But I think, as in, if you work together as mom and dad, as a parent, as whoever your support system is, you're going to be fine. Yeah.
To that.
Yeah, so that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, let us know down below. If you have any comments, let us know down below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oi.
Big girl. Oh, ladies.
Pause. Stop. Stop it.